really stops your growth. So that's exactly what I want you guys to pay attention to. Pay attention if you're doing these mistakes, because honestly, this could be the reason why you're not growing. And avoiding these mistakes can help you grow organically, grow for free without investing in ads, which is what every business and creator account wants. So let's give a warm welcome to the host of the week, the host with the mostest, everyone's favorite, Gabe. This is great.
Hello guys, how are you today? Hopefully everything is doing fantastic for you. We're excited for this one because these mistakes will make or break your accounts inside Instagram. So let's get started.
Exactly. So let us know if you're tuning in. Leave a comment, leave a review wherever you're listening on. And if you have any questions, reach out to us. That's honestly why we do this every week, because we know that you guys ask questions when we're coming up on these platforms. So remember to interact, leave questions as we go along.
So the first mistake is something super important, because we know that a lot of people consume a lot inside of the platform, but they actually don't create anything. There are a lot of ghosts, there are a lot of silent people inside Instagram, and they always want to be consuming and quote wasting their time. Okay, maybe they're actually learning, like people learning about whatever their likes or whatever they're trying to do, but actually they never think about what they're good at. Maybe they have a business, but they're actually not creating content. So the first mistake is only consuming and not creating.
And I think we're all guilty of this at some moment. That's why I really do a lot of emphasis on watch who you follow. Not in terms of don't follow that many people, but in terms of really watch exactly how much time you're spending on the platform, just consuming and consuming and consuming and consuming, and not spending that time creating. If you have a business or a creator account, you have a goal on Instagram, and your goal is to put information, put content, put value, show up on this platform. And how do you do that? Well, you have to invest some time into it. And a lot of time, we don't even realize that that's what the platform is made for. But a lot of the time, we just don't even notice it, and we spend time, and then it turns into hours and hours and hours. I mean, when was the last time you checked your consumption rate on Instagram? For me, I remember the last time I checked, I was super surprised. It was like 5 hours, guys. 5 hours. That means that for me, honestly, I should be spending at least 5 hours giving back and putting in content. I really want you to think of that. Are you putting in as much as you're consuming? You should be putting in even more than that.
Exactly. And it's also interacting, because sometimes you are consuming content, but you're not actually making real connections with people. You are not networking, okay? So this is the basic outreach. So remember, maybe you go to a networking event on a restaurant, a bar, or whatever from your current 9-to-5 job. So think about that. You're actually talking with people, trying to make connections. The same thing happens inside Instagram, okay? You need to be sending DMs. You need to be saying hi to people to be able to build a relationship with them inside your business or personal brand, okay? We always talk about this, so go ahead and watch our previous live inside the YouTube channel of Laura Gomez, and you'll be able to learn all of the outreach strategies that we apply to our customers, okay? So number 2 is actually super important. So after you decide to start creating content, you basically need to be sizing your pictures the right way, okay? So the most common mistake for people that are just getting started, they forget about the little icon that's like this, okay? This one lets you put your picture in 1350 by 1080, by 1080, 1950, 1350, yeah.
It's the same thing. It just depends on which one you're saying first, the width or the height. So the height is always going to be the same. It's always 1080.
1080,
Sorry,
1350, yeah.
Hold on. The width is always 1080. You can't go wider than that because obviously Instagram is it's a mobile platform. So everything is going to be 1080. But what changes is the height. So normally, and this is so big, and what really kind of frustrates me is that big industry leaders are doing this. Why are they doing this? Because Canva templates that people are buying are in 1080 by 1080. That's the biggest mistake because it's a square, okay? You can take up the whole space and do 1080, okay, 1080 width by 1350 in height. What does that mean? That your image is longer. It's in portrait mode. Therefore, you're taking up more of the space. You can do this on Canva with all the templates that they have. All you have to do is click resize and change my height to 1350. And that way, when people are scrolling, they'll see you take up their whole phone screen. It's not like you're sharing your property with somebody else. No, you're literally taking up that whole property.
Exactly. So your message will be received better by the people that are consuming. So someone that's scrolling, they'll be able to read whatever you're trying to say, to see what you're trying to advertise or teach. So it will be a lot easier to get your message across, okay? So this is super important. Always post on portrait mode. And this is a big mistake that beginners always make, okay? So always take note of this. And if maybe you took an amazing picture in landscape, so the one that's like, like this. Horizontal, exactly. You can resize that using Canva, as Laura said. So always think about this.
Crop it even on your own phone. I have a whole video that I'll link down below. I have a whole video that literally gives you a tutorial on how to do this straight from your phone.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah. So the next one is actually driving traffic to your Instagram profile. So this is a big thing because you need to be taking into consideration there are other platforms that you can use to send traffic to your Instagram and vice versa. So make sure that you have a traffic strategy for your account.
Exactly. So I talk about this a lot because I really make a lot of emphasis on this content trio. So the content trio is YouTube, podcasts, and Instagram because each one works in a different way. So a platform that really gets a lot of eyeballs on your content would be a platform like YouTube, not a platform like Instagram, because Instagram isn't searchable. So for you as a business and as a creator account, you're obviously putting in time into your content. You obviously want to get the word out either about your personal brand, your product, your service, your educational product, whatever it may be. So you want that content to be seen as much as possible. Well, you do this by actually driving. So using another platform, I recommend YouTube, which is super searchable. You guys already know that I'm a fan of YouTube. And then using that traffic to get more people onto your Instagram. Yes, people can find you on Instagram if your posts start to go viral, if you have that good thing, but you can do this in conjunction with driving traffic and it works amazingly. So if you're questioning, why is my Instagram growth kind of going like this instead of like this, which is what I really want it to be? Well, ask yourself, am I driving traffic to my Instagram, or do I just have an Instagram account that represents my business and just hoping and praying that my posts go viral and then people find me? Ask yourself that.
That's right, guys. So the next one is super important. It's not using the latest features from Instagram, okay? So as you know, there are many ways that you can actually express yourself, your business, personal brand through the platform, okay? If you are more of a visual person, you can be doing maybe the feed, okay? If you want to tell a story for more than 1 minute or so, you can use IGTV, okay? Also, if you want to be only doing short videos, 15 seconds, you can use the stories or you can use Instagram Reels, okay? There are many ways that you can actually express yourself and use the platform to your advantage, okay? So a big mistake of people is not actually taking advantage of new features to be able to boost themselves to new audiences. As you know, Instagram comes up with something new, they want people to use it, so they usually give more credit to these creators to put them in other screens. So our advice is to always take advantage of new features inside the platform.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it any better. Instagram feeds, stories, IGTV, Reels, not only that, but look at every button that Instagram has and use it to your advantage. I've mentioned it to you guys before. I use my close friends really wisely. There's a lot of you that are even tuning in right now that you're part of my close friends on Instagram. So usually close friends is like close friends, right? You would either put your family, your friends. Well, what I do is I ask my audience, hey, who wants to know a little more about my journey? Who wants to know a little more about what's going on in my life? Who wants to know what podcast I'm listening to, what book I'm reading, advice? It's really like a deeper connection. I add those people to my close friends. So close friends, okay, that little button, I'm using it. And you should be using it too. And of course, while we're talking about it, obviously, if you're interested in being a part of those close friends, just send me a DM on Instagram saying close friends and I'll add you to that list. You'll get a bigger glimpse onto what my day-to-day is like, what books, all that good stuff.
Exactly. So the next one is super important. It's not putting a face to your business or personal brand, okay? So this is something that always Laura speaks about on Instagram, also on the YouTube channel, on the podcast, etc. So this is something that's super important if you want to get the message across. So remember, people buy from people, they don't buy just for like to brands, okay? So make sure that you go ahead and put your face out, and if you are shy, maybe you can use someone that works in your business, you can use another face inside the business, but make sure that you go ahead and introduce a human aspect inside the brand.
Yeah, there's just really no way around it. Humans buy from humans. That's the bottom of it. So whether it's you, whether it's your staff, whether you have an influencer who's going to be your face of the brand, every business needs it. And if you're a business or a creator, you need it. There's really no excuse. I know it takes time. I know it takes practice. I know it can be uncomfortable, but start doing little by little by little. I mean, Instagram starts off with Instagram stories, which is 15 seconds. 50 seconds, you can just do your first day, say, hey, how are you guys? And that's it. And then the next day, just say something a little longer. And then the next day, say why you started your business. And then the next day, talk about your latest feature or product or service, okay? It can be uncomfortable, but I promise you, you get better as time goes on. And if your goal on Instagram is to grow your business, to grow your personal brand, to become recognized as this creator, you need to start putting your face out there, because your face is what's going to create that trust, that relationship, that communication that then will help your goal out.
Exactly, guys. So make sure you start playing this one. Yes. Also, another thing is, we already talked about this, but ignoring people, okay? Not interacting with the people that are actually
huge.
Yeah, sending you DMs. Maybe you are actually doing outreach strategies. You're doing inbound marketing, etc. But you're not responding to people, okay? You're not saying hi, you're not responding to their questions. Maybe you're a brand, they have questions about your clothing brand or whatever you have. So you need to take the time to actually start interacting with people. There is something super common that when some people get some clout, they get a lot of followers, they stop actually interacting with people because obviously they're getting a ton of DMs. And this is something that we always recommend, that these kind of people, we recommend to actually have an agency in place that takes care of this matter, okay? So most of our clients are businesses that are a little bit more than, not a small business, but medium to big size businesses. So these businesses, that they have a lot of followers, they have a lot of questions, a lot of interactions, etc. So that's why they need our agency. They need people to be able there every single day answering questions from their followers, okay? And this is something where you build a real connection and you start actually increasing sales thanks to the customer support that you provide inside Instagram.
Exactly. I just think right now we're at a time where social media is your digital storefront, okay? So it's like having a storefront with nobody to attend it. You would never, ever, ever do that for your physical store. You would never just leave it with no staff working. That's exactly what your social media is, because that's where your consumers are most of the time even having their first impression with your business. So it's like the first time your customer walks in your store and there's nobody there. Or they're about to make a purchase, they have a couple questions, but nobody's there to answer. Nobody's there to get back to them. Nobody's answering their comments. They have to try here, try there, try. What do you think is going to happen? Honestly, they're going to go to the next customer. They're going to go to the next competitor. They're going to go to the next brand, okay? So think about that really, really. If you have a small brand, start doing it yourself. As you grow, start expanding and start getting help with that, because every business, every creator account needs to have something in place in order to really, really have that response time in check.
Exactly. And we're talking about direct messages, comments, okay? We're also talking about pictures that are tagged, okay?
Yeah.
Let's say that a customer tagged you in a picture, you need to go ahead and interact with this customer. And also we're talking about outreach strategies, okay? These are 4 pillars where people actually talk with people and you're not consuming, but you're actually creating connections. And if you don't have the time to do this, go ahead and find people like our agency to be able to manage this for you, okay, on your behalf. So the other thing that's super important is actually not copying other people, okay? It's super easy to go ahead and just go to a similar industry, similar competitor, and just rip off all of their content, okay? We have countless of stories about this that people actually get born from this, okay? It's wild out there, okay? There are a lot of people just taking content from other people without giving the proper credit.
Wild out there.
It's a wild jungle, people. So just be careful. Stop doing the copy and pasting. You can actually go ahead and quote people, give credit to the content.
Give credit. Oh my gosh, give credit.
Exactly. So you can go ahead and get inspired by them, and then maybe you can even combine different frameworks and create your own theories, okay? And you can then explain them, okay? The same way, maybe you saw a piece of content that you actually get inspired to. Maybe you have a clothing brand or something that's different and you want to create awesome content just like you saw. You can actually get inspired by that, but actually don't go ahead and just copy and paste, because when you get big enough, people will notice, people will see that you're copying another competitor, and you'll get bored and you'll be like, just a doggy in a corner, just, oh my God, what did I do that? Oh no, why did I, So just imagine that you don't want to be in that position. Just go ahead, own your thing, do your homework, and actually create custom content to your brand or personal brand or business that you have, okay? And always we talk about instead of creating new content, go ahead and document your journey, okay? It's 10 times easier to just, instead of creating content out of the blue, just go ahead and document the day inside your business, document the things that are happening every single day inside your life. And it's easier to get life lessons from that. People will learn, people will actually connect with you. It's 10 times easier, okay? So Go ahead and think about this.
I think there's really nothing worse as a consumer when you go in different accounts and you see the same exact thing. So put yourself in the shoes of the consumers, put yourself in the shoes of the people who are landing on your profile. If you literally have the same I help statement, the same colors, the same structure, the same diagrams, the same templates, like, guys, we can be more creative than that. You can literally show different faces. I promise you that your business is not the exact same copy as the business next door. So as long as you're putting in that creative touch, that really unique perspective that every business, every person, every creator has, then you will stand out. Just be sure to tell your story in a unique way. To find out how you can be a pioneer in different strategies on social media, there's so much room for creativeness to really flow on social media, and I think that's the beauty of it. So instead of using the same template, instead of using the same thing as all the other people, work on investing time into that, because I promise you, when people see the same thing, it's just like, okay, it's same thing, same thing, same thing. Then, oh wow, I've never seen this before. That's what really sparks, and that's what really can be the key for your account to skyrocket and to grow. So we gave you a lot of mistakes. These are mistakes that we open the phone and here it is. Mistake number 2, mistake number 5. We see them on a daily basis. So make sure that you're not doing this, okay? Today, stop, avoid these mistakes. Use what we've taught you in the other videos, okay? And really start to grow your accounts organically with working with the algorithm, okay? There's tons of ways. Social media is not some weird thing. Social media is all about getting and understanding the analytics and working along with it, okay? So before we go, I want to remind you guys that the Instagram roadmap for free is available down below, and I'll also link 3 of the most important videos for you to check out that really, if you're like, okay, I was doing these mistakes, or like, how can I really grow my Instagram profile, then check those videos out, okay? Go check them out, and we'll see you next Thursday for TDC Thursday.
Take care, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, and also ring the bell to be notified next time we go live inside YouTube. If you're watching from Instagram, thank you so much for watching. Once again, we'll see you next week. And also, if you are listening from the podcast, make sure to go ahead, let us know that you're listening. Go ahead to _Laura Gomez on Instagram or at @𝘴𝘤𝘦𝘦𝘱, and we'll be there to answer all of your questions, okay? Thank you so much.
Bye-bye, guys. TDC Thursday. See you next week. We go live every Thursday, and I want to see you there. All right? Bye-bye.